Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be reacting to Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 10, Quality of Mercy. This is the season finale. I am very excited, very stressed, because the last episodes have made me cry. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring. If you have watched these reactions on YouTube, you can be amazing like Albert and sponsor me on Patreon. Support me on Patreon, sponsor shows, and get the unedited versions of these reactions. And let's go!
Oh, we already had spaghetti last night.
Why
Making
not
pasta,
Earth is
Mama.
back?
Someone told me I have better places to be, so I'm trying to be there. Better places.
Just wanted to meet Captain Pike.
Oh, something terrible is going to happen to this
He's
place.
always dreamt about joining Starfleet.
What did you say your name is?
Mott.
Mott al-Salah.
This is one of the babies you're going to save. So, honestly, like, I refuse. Like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna have enough foresight to do something different in the situation. That is how I personally am gonna view this, and I don't care what they say.
There's 2 cadets who don't make it. He's one of them.
Oh, fuck.
You don't have to face this alone.
He's one of the
What are
ones
you
that
going to do?
doesn't make it.
I have to do something, don't I?
I mean, I don't think we need to stop him joining Starfleet, per se. But we could, on that day, do something different.
I'm you.
What is happening?
Is this some kind of
Joe? No.
He seems old.
How am I supposed to believe cadets die in that accident 7 years from now? Mott is one of them.
7 years from now. 7 years from now. Has this series taken place over 3 years? I mean, obviously it's taken place over time, but I thought we'd have like 10 real life
I'm
years.
trying to figure out. The letter is just the first domino to fall in a chain reaction of events that leads to catastrophic results. It alters the future in ways.
Okay,
that
sure, but we just don't change the future now. We change the future then. It's all gonna be fine. Don't worry
I
about
never
this dude.
intended to change. I know that you would never put your own fate before the fate of the galaxy.
He wouldn't, that's true. And he's not gonna have to,
And
because he's
that's how
gonna
I
find a
convinced the
different way to
Klingons
fix
let me
it
show you instead.
in the future.
And
I don't trust this.
I'm guessing it's the same attackers, sir. The Romulans.
Oh dear.
Approaching this logically, time travel seems a less likely solution than that you are compromised mentally. And as your first officer, in these circumstances, it is my
Yep.
job to assume command. My thoughts to your thoughts.
Yeah.
You.
I was sent forward to this moment in time for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Why?
to figure out why.
I would posit the prime future. Some other captain of the Enterprise must have commanded it differently.
So the only way to discover the terrible future
Just a little bit.
is to live it.
Okay, so cool then after the accident, just step down as captain. Problem solved. Be like, I'm gonna retire from being captain now. Get whoever you would have had if I was grievously injured. Get them on board, and then they will do that, and then we'll be. It's all fine.
That's La'an's ship, sir.
Very
Yes.
nice.
I'd forgotten.
Switching. Enterprise, can you see in the center of my screen?
Phasers.
I think we found your terrible weapon.
Enterprise, this is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Farragut, offering
Hello.
assistance.
I thought you were cast as him.
Christopher Pike. Good to see you, Captain.
We received out.
I have an irrational dislike of Paul Wesley. That is Paul Wesley, right? But like, it's completely and utterly irrational from him being in the Vampire Diaries, and then every interview he gave was him being like, I'm just so much better than the Vampire Diaries. I'm just so above the Vampire Diaries. As he continued to be on the Vampire Diaries, collecting his Vampire Diaries paycheck, and the publicity that came from being part of the Vampire Diaries, just it rubbed me the wrong way. Because like other coats, like the main girl, Lena Dobrev, she left, but I'm still on the Vampire Diaries. I'm just too good for the Vampire Diaries. I don't like Paul Wesley, so I think I heard somewhere he was playing Kirk, and I was glad that he wasn't on this show. He can die, that's alright by me.
Distress. We track it, Commander.
Spock. Theoretically, yes.
Kirk
By
and Spock
detecting the
meeting.
microlensing of
Sir, it's the Romulans. We
Oh.
have to take them out.
We can't enter the neutral zone. Starfleet is clear on this.
So is it somebody... My current theory would be it's somebody imitating the Romulans to try and start a war?
He doesn't like to take the path everyone else does.
He's
And he
the one that
doesn't
would be
like to
captain.
lose.
I assure you, Lieutenant, these similarities between Vulcans and Romulans came
Oh.
as a surprise to me, perhaps even more.
I think I did know that Romulans look like Vulcans. I just assumed that the revelation was before they were Vulcans. Like, I didn't think that it was Romulans. I'm having a day, okay? Romulans are just Vulcans. A little of them, at least. I mean, it makes sense. In every human show, we have aliens that also look like us.
I don't think we can wait. We have to make a choice here.
Say we do make that choice. Their plasma
the
weapons will still
choice.
slice through our shields.
Isn't that technically an act of war?
I mean, they've technically already done the act of war.
This isn't a schoolyard.
In the action.
Because the question also is, if this is the Romulans, is this like the head of the Romulans, or just some random rogue Romulans?
So do I.
This be the alternative that you've been looking for. Mr. Spock, can you put up the trajectory on screen, please? Currently,
Whatever Pike wants is going to be the wrong call.
Now, I know that they're invisible.
Kirk, however, has agreed to my plan to neutralize, not destroy the bird of prey.
But that's obviously a mistake, right?
And yet, I remain concerned this brash young Starfleet captain follows his own rules.
But that's
I
the
can't help but
problem,
wonder,
apparently.
Is Kirk the reason I was sent here? Would we be led into a war?
It's interesting, isn't it, right? Because it's obviously going to be the complete opposite. He's restraining him or something?
We should have seen them by now.
Enterprise, I don't like this.
Reading gravitational signature again. It's behind the Farragut.
Kirk,
Oof,
get out of there! Red alert! Cat pattern Tiberius 4.
Yep, they should have been... Shoot first, ask questions later.
Get behind them!
Oh no, don't kill Paul Wesley. But La'an is on that ship, don't blow up. Fuck. I'm feeling a lot more stressed if this wasn't a future that wasn't going to come true. So, feel fine because it's a future that's not going to come true. Oh god.
They're firing their plasma weapon.
Brace for impact!
Clear the pads. There's one more group behind us. Oh, I'm glad to see you.
Oh, she looks so good.
When's the last time you talked to Una?
Why, I can't talk to her.
She's
No
dead.
one can. She's not allowed contact.
Oh.
Of course.
Captain Pike, we need to
So
talk
many
now.
tantalizing future details.
Do not question my combat readiness, Captain.
I'm saying caution means you're not going to put everything you have into the punch. And that's a good way to lose, because your enemy will see that and
See,
act
I'm
according.
annoyed that it's going to be, oh, we should have fired first, because you shouldn't. That is a really unhealthy mindset to have. I kind of agree, I suppose, in this instance, in blah, 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 they did fire first, so you kind of have to take them out, and you don't understand their ship, so maybe just firing to kill is the right way,
because
but
of a second's delay.
I don't know if I'm finding Kirk annoying because Kirk is annoying or because of the actor. I'm so sorry.
Taking a risk.
Which is apparently going to be the wrong choice.
Knowing what your opponent wants is key to a successful negotiation.
That's assuming they can be negotiated with.
I agree with Pike that we have to
Pike?
try.
It is good to make your acquaintance.
Oh, they got different foreheads to Vulcans, haven't they?
Conversely, maybe we can marshal our weapons and destroy you before you make it to the neutral zone. Or perhaps we chase you across the border and destroy you and get out before anyone's the wiser.
You've already started a war. Why should we respect the
good
neutral
faith
zone, to be fair?
2 hours will lead to something further and better between our two cultures.
Obviously not because of the guy, but I believe in what he's saying.
You can't let them get away with it.
Stand down!
I mean, you can't disobey your captain like that, and in the long run, if we can keep peace, that is better than starting a war.
Hopefully.
If the big showdown is the fact that Pike is in command of the Enterprise, and that's the literal only problem with Pike changing the future, is that Pike makes the wrong call here. He just has to resign from the role of being captain of the Enterprise right after the explosion and let them pick their next candidate. Like, tell him who the candidate should be, and he'll be like, I give my recommendation to this dude. Who's for her first.
Generation has given us the advantage.
We can strike before this ridiculous ceasefire is completed.
One vaguely honorable Romulan or not?
His death was a waste. Fandom was stupid. It left us weaker. Now,
He's actually a sensible Romulan.
I don't care what people, something we can afford. We look at the
Oh, he's gonna get
world
overthrown.
on my ship.
I do not drink coffee. I do drink tea.
All right, would you like some tea?
No, thank you, Captain. No one can know the future in the moment. One
He's
can only
literally
follow
in the
one's
future right
instincts
now.
and hope the truth. She was sentenced to the Federation penal colony on Celia 6, where she has spent much of the last 7 years.
7 years?
For deception.
If she spent much of the last 7 years, and she's not got long before she gets found out.
But the Romulans don't know that.
Captain Kirk.
Very cunning of you.
What are you suggesting? It comes from our willingness to see a partner instead of an enemy. In our culture, that is an act of faith and strength, not a failure of character.
Are the crew on the Romulan ship gonna mutiny?
I too tire of endless war.
But it's just one Romulan, he's the exception. Oh dear. How come the Romulans got their support here so quick? And I guess because they were closer, that's not the point.
Of our situation, Commander. The Federation showed weakness. It is the Romulan way to strike.
Perimeter alert. We have ships incoming, sir. Dozens.
More Romulans?
No. They look
Whatever.
like ours.
Whatever Scott's got planned.
Been 100 years since the Federation has seen the Romulans. We didn't know what their ships look like, and so I figured they don't know what ours look
I mean,
like either.
they've seen 2 of ours.
Robotic mining craft?
Mining, hauling.
You sneaky son of a bitch.
He is a
enough to
sneaky
bluff
son of a
with.
bitch.
We won't have to use them, will we, Praetor?
This is an act of unparalleled aggression on the border of our territory.
Seriously.
No, just a standard training maneuver that
I'm breaking formation. Heading our way.
Praetor, what is this?
This is a culling, Captain. That commander should not have allowed himself to be caught.
Jesus.
Sir.
In a different reality, I could have called you friend.
Oof.
What purpose will it serve to die?
So is there some kind of version where he could make peace with him somehow?
One more duty to perform.
Yeah, Romulan, it's real great fun. I mean, it's their whole culture. That's how they're raised, brainwashed their whole lives.
If not for your weakness, we would have never known what easy targets your Federation would be.
Jesus Christ.
Goodbye.
You're the ones who are gonna lose so much.
Powering up weapons again.
Evasive
And when you
maneuvers,
look
Eric,
down and
or
realize
Evans
how
able
many of
to-
your children are dead, you will feel bad, but it'll be too late.
Kirk, get back here. We're about to warp out.
Roger that.
Captain, warp engines aren't engaging.
Short term,
Erica?
sure, you're gonna win this battle. You're not gonna
I'm
win the
sorry,
war.
Sir, the
Kirk, what are you doing?
Covering your escape. Get those engines fixed.
Fuck.
Captain Kirk has beamed on board.
Engines online, Captain.
Okay.
Hit it.
Better go, go, go. Fucking hell.
The Romulans are broadcasting on all known subspace frequencies.
Oh lord.
It's a declaration of war, sir. Against
I mean,
the Federation.
Their actions made that pretty clear. So are we saying if Kirk had just fired on the first ship, then there wouldn't have been war? Because clearly the Romulans wanted there to be war. So once they want war, you're not going to change anything. The only thing I can think of right now would be potentially the Enterprise exploding, but then I don't know how Pike is alive to come and visit himself. Or that one Romulan that wanted peace dying and not being alive to somehow surviving the onslaught to one day get peace.
Systems took a direct hit.
And Spock dying, that would also be very, very bad. I don't believe that the simple fact of him being captain means that this is going to happen this way. The Romulans wanted war. They're going to keep trying. Oh lord, the wedding he was supposed to be doing. Oh god.
Massive cerebral trauma, major blood loss, spinal fractures, radiation burns across.
I'm not gonna
40%
cry
of his body.
because it isn't real. I mean, it's real for them, but it's not real. Okay, so now what I would want to see if I was him. So what happens when I'm not involved? Show me that future as well. I doubt they can do that. Like, why is it so much better? Like, the Romulans want war either way. So even if Kirk or whoever fired on the ship, they'd have just come back and been like, oh, I suppose is it like, oh, the Federation was super strong because they fired on us. So now we're just going to abandon all plans for war. Like,
thanks to Albert, I have now seen the original series episode that they are referencing in this, that they are repeating, so I know how the events play out in this world where Kirk is captain. I still maintain just literally the date that the accident was supposed to happen, where Pike gets injured, he does whatever he needs to do to make sure it doesn't happen, so he and the cadets are just all safe. Then he says, I've had a brilliant career, I resigned from Starfleet. We'd have the exact same situation we'd end up with in the original series, and I'm standing by that. Although I will say in general, it's been a few years now since I watched this, and I'm less angry about the situation, more resigned to it, but I'm still headcanoning. There's no reason why it has to happen that way.
This war with the Romulans, millions died.
But you're seriously telling me that if we just fired on that ship, the Romulans would never have tried to do this war? They'd have been like, oh, well, you know, they one whole ship fired on us, can't attack them. Because the Romulans didn't really think their plan through.
So far, but the monk showed me something simple.
Just resign.
Time. We change the path. He dies. And he's got things to do.
You're seriously saying that even if Pike resigned after the explosion, and so whoever was going to be captain of the Enterprise was captain of the Enterprise, somehow Spock would still die? I don't buy it for a second.
You tried for something better.
He did, and that should never be the wrong call. But apparently it is.
If you had just chased that Romulan ship from the get-go and taken it out, maybe none of this would have happened.
Today, the Romulans would just be like, oh, one of our ships couldn't beat one of their ships. Let's keep building up our ships. Oh, it's been 5 years. Now we have a better ship. Let's go do the same. Like, if the Romulans were the Romulans, I suppose if Spock's alive, he can make peace. Is what they're trying to say. But like,
tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
This is very weird because now, if and when they meet in other timelines, he's gonna know all about him.
First off.
Yeah, you just need to resign the day of the accident. Did all of those kids need to be involved the day of the accident for it to happen? Surely the literal only difference is Pike being captain or Pike not being captain. That cadet dying doesn't change anything. So, like, all you have to do, you could still save all the cadets and just have Pike be there if he has to be injured and die or whatever for it to happen.
I'm very glad to see you.
Is that why you are very glad to see me?
Yes, you're very, very wise.
You are very important to me, as are you to me, Captain. Chris.
She's not got long before she's off to go, oh, can we change that future? At least he's at peace. Oh, what is this?
Captain Patel.
For the record, I'm sorry about this.
Oh, Lord, yep. 7 years. She was in prison for 7 years.
What the hell is going on?
I am arresting Commander Una Chin Riley for violations of our anti-genetic modification directive.
How did they find out?
She's an Illyrian, Chris.
I don't care what she is. She's
I don't like it either, but I have orders.
Captain, don't.
That isn't the way.
I've known this might happen for years.
We've just got to fight this in other ways and not let it go on for 7 years. So is that also, could that also kill Spock? So maybe we have to just let her rot in prison because it could kill Spock. I may not be enamored with this episode, you might have noticed.
I didn't ask for this job.
Okay, well, this is going to be kind of a tough one to talk about because I'm definitely not someone, I don't ever want to fake my reactions. And so when a show irritates me, I'm going to tell you it irritated me. I do want to start by saying what they did very, very well. The storytelling, I understood what they were saying, why they were saying it, how they were saying it. I just disagreed with pretty much every aspect of it. To an extent, I can understand it. Like, I get the point they were trying to make. They were trying to drill home that it was so much more than just who was there, what happened, because it was, if Pike's plan happened, Spock died. Well, then why can't you say, well, Pike knows that now. He can just order them to fire on the Romulan ship, can't he? Now that he knows that that's what he's got to do. Thanks for the bit of forewarning. Well, when I'm alive and I'm there. Now, I suppose as a viewer, we're supposed to think, oh, it's the Spike. The Pike. Fucking hell. Kirk. I keep wanting to call Kirk Pike, and I don't know why the names aren't even similar. They're just 4 letters. Kirk and Spock together. That is the thing that's going to be the great thing that saves the world. Because obviously they are good together. And my dislike of Kirk in this is nothing to do with Kirk. And if he becomes a more regular feature of the show, I will grow up. I will grow. Blah blah. I can't speak. Grow beyond my irrational disliking of Paul Wesley. But I don't know that he'll want to stick around because maybe he's too good for this kind of franchise. Or is this a cool franchise? Is this franchise okay for him? I'm fine, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of characters dying in general in shows or suffering like that, and the idea of somebody knowing it's coming and just not being able to do anything to stop it, seeing these young cadets and you're gonna die in 7 years and just not being able to do anything, I don't like it. Going into this show, I was of the opinion like, well, we're just gonna change it. I don't give a shit. Like, we're changing it, and I am still of that opinion. I obviously think in the show he's not gonna change it. But if you're really telling me the only reason, the problem with that whole scenario was who was captain of the Enterprise and what choices he made. So all he has to do is when that happens and Kirk comes in on the other ship and Kirk's like, we should fire on them, Pike has to go, yes, I've already ordered that. Let's go. You know, giving him, he's got a chance to see how to do things differently. Alternatively, if it is so very, very pressing and important that somebody else, Kirk, is captain of the Enterprise, Pike should resign, because if he's going to be, you know, forever altered and changed and terribly disabled in a quality of life destroying way anyway, he's not going to be able to be captain of the Enterprise. So if he can just resign and go ride horses, he'd be much happier than if he was on the ship. So just do that instead, and then they'll get, I guess, Kirk's up for a captaincy. Oh, the Enterprise is in store. There it is. Pike can even say, I've heard really good things about this candidate. I think he should follow me, because I think especially if he's resigning honorably, then like they take his word into account. Instantly, there you have it. You've got Kirk, you've got Spock, they're in the Enterprise. The Enterprise is going to respond. They're going to just fire on the Romulans because fuck peace. You know, like whatever the plan is that they want. You've solved that problem. They didn't sell to me that there was literally no other way. Or at the very fucking least, if we say, okay, Pike has to die, Pike has to suffer, fuck Pike, why do the cadets have to die? They don't seem to matter. It wasn't, what happened on Outpost 4 wasn't altered in any way by the kid being there or not being there. Like, the cadets don't need to die, surely, to ensure that Spock gets to live in the future. Like, I understand the point they're trying to make. They're trying to make this very noble point, kind of like the chief engineer sacrificing himself in the previous episode. One life isn't worth more than another life, and Pike shouldn't get to change his future at the cost of other futures. And I understand if they truly told me that every single other variable would lead to this, I would be like, okay, yeah, fair enough, you know, that is true. And if it's very important that the 2 cadets that are going to die have to die, fine, fair enough, they have to die. Let's just put some bullets in their heads ourselves. But I don't buy it. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. I feel like there are too many alternatives and possibilities that would still keep the conditions that they claim are necessary in place, that would still not lead to everybody dying and everything sucking. So I don't like that aspect. I feel like it was trying too hard to be like, oh, isn't this noble and brave and wonderful? The Pike's gonna have to do this. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. Because he could totally do something else. And now he's just going to be like, oh, well, you know, oh, hi, cadet, welcome to my ship. Yes, you're going to die in 2 months. Have fun. Like, I didn't like it. They did it very well. The acting was all phenomenal, especially, like, the realization of what Pike was going to have to do and everything. Like, it wasn't a badly done episode by any means. I just disagreed with it fundamentally on multiple fronts. And I'm not someone that's going to lie and say, like, I had a really great time with that episode. It made me feel really happy, because it didn't. I did enjoy seeing where all the characters were in 7 years, and that obviously knowing that La'an's going to make it back to Starfleet is nice, because she was one of my favourites. It it was fun seeing Kirk, even if it was Paul Wesley. And seeing Kirk and Spock meeting and things like that was a lot of fun. Hearing the lovely Scottish accent from the engineer, like, it was a lot of really good moments in the episode. And even the idea of this war with the Romulans, and it kind of going back to Winona Earp, I don't know her name in this show, so she's just Winona Earp, you know who I mean, saying, oh, I hear the Romulans have got a new weapon, and him being like, oh, they always say that about the Romulans, to 7 years later, they do have a new weapon. Pike's just going to live his life being like, did you know I have concrete knowledge that the Romulans are building a new weapon and they're going to use it to kill people, and I'm just not going to say anything because potentially Spock could die. It's really dumb. Like, it's not dumb because obviously Spock's life leads to millions of lives. I know it isn't as simple as Spock because the whole point is that one person's life isn't more, and I want Spock to live. I'm not in any way, shape or form wishing death on Spock. I love Spock. I just feel like they leapt, it's like they went from point A to point F, but they could have stopped off at B, C, D, or E, and they were like, nah, the alphabet just goes A to F. Like, it just, and maybe you're going to leave me comments that are going to be like, oh, you're seeing this totally wrong. Here is a very clear and obvious way as to why what they're saying is true. I would have preferred it if future Pike had said, and don't, this is the 4th time we've done this, okay? The last me resigned. The me before that got the cadets to, if there was something like that, I don't care how ridiculous it is, because if they can freaking do this once, they can freaking do this 10 times. Like, there could have been something like that, and then I still wouldn't have liked it, because I kind of liked having the idea that Pike was living with this knowledge, but I, as the viewer who did not want that to be the future, could say, well, he's going to change it. And then viewers who did want that to be the future could say, oh, he's not going to change it. And it was kind of a let the viewer enjoy the show how they want to enjoy the show. So yeah, this has been like a very angry thing. It was a good episode, other than that. And I also don't like that going for peace was wrong. Like, that also doesn't rub me the right way, because it makes me feel like, see, so when governments order people to go and shoot the bad guys, that's a good thing. Like, obviously the situations are very complex, and with Romulans maybe it was important, and I will say that it wasn't just a Romulan ship in Federation space that hadn't hurt anybody, they had hurt people in the neutral zone, but I just feel like, I don't know, I didn't like how, I feel like the message they wanted to get across, they got across very, very clearly. But in order to do that, they were just like, don't look over here, and don't look here, and don't look here. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see behind this curtain, or this curtain, or this curtain, or this curtain. It's just this tiny slither. That is the plot. And I didn't like it. And I'm probably in the minority because I know people love shows when they kill characters off, apparently, because shows keep doing it. I don't know. That's why I stopped watching The Walking Dead. I did really enjoy it. I watched it for many seasons. And then it finally reached the point where I was like, I don't enjoy this. Obviously, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is not all about Pike's ultimate fate. The episode 1 had a heavy emphasis on it, and obviously this episode was. The show itself is about the crew and the different individuals and the missions they go on, and I have absolutely adored 9 episodes of this show. And I didn't hate, as much as this has been a very negative review, I didn't hate this episode. I enjoyed a lot of it when I was able to forget the point they were trying to hammer home. I did enjoy the conflict with the Romulans and the one Romulan who wanted peace. That kind of gave you hope that maybe there are others. And I enjoyed them being like, Spock's really important because we know he is, we love him. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I feel like they didn't do as good a job as they could have done in hammering home this message. But as a show, I have loved this show. I would personally prefer shows when they don't kill off anybody, including like the chief engineer in the previous episode. He could have lived. I don't feel the need for shows to kill characters off for realism. Because real life sucks, people die every day, suddenly, unexpectedly. TV shows don't need to do the same. But with things like the chief engineer's death, it was in the moment, there was no forewarning, planning. It didn't feel cheap or shock value-y. It was powerful within the moment. This whole thing with Pike, it seems like, aren't we edgy? Because we have someone who knows is going to die in 10 years. Oh my god, edgy. And I'm not hating on these showrunners. It's a real trend across TV these days that you have to have shock value deaths. I mean, I don't even want to think about Star Trek Enterprise, okay? The way that show ended killed that show for me. I will never rewatch Enterprise, yet growing up, it was the Star Trek that was on when I was a kid. We watched it as a family. We loved it. I've literally immediately erased it from my brain after the way they ended that episode. Though that was original Star Wars, fucking hell, that was a brain fog brain slip. Original Star Trek creators coming in, writing the finale, screwing over everybody that liked the original show, like the current show, sorry. I'm feeling a lot of feelings because I truly have loved this show. I loved the first 9 episodes of the show, even the first episode, because it didn't tell you what to think either way about his future. You could listen to number 1 and be like, there is a chance to save him, or you could listen to him being like, oh, I've got to accept my fate. You know, it was up to you. I loved all the episodes in between, getting to know the different crew members, from Uhura to La'an to the Doctor and his daughter. Oh, and his daughter, like, it just was such a well done show. I just did not like the finale at all. I think I will rewatch this show, and for me, I will not rewatch episode 10, but I will rewatch the other 9, and then I will watch, like, you know, season 2. I would like to watch as well. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but although it isn't out yet, is it? But whether it's sponsored or the show goes on YouTube, whatever happens, I will ultimately watch season 2. And if it doesn't get sponsored and I don't put this on YouTube or whatever because there's no interest for it, I will just watch it in my own time at some point, because I did really, really love the show. Just in rewatches, episode 10 will not be rewatched. Now, the other big thing in this episode is obviously number 1 being arrested for being an Illyrian. How did they find out? Did a report get filed after the whole incident where she kind of had to reveal that she was an Illyrian to save everybody? Because in the whole future, she had been in prison with no contact for 7 years, and now Pike's like, I'm going to change that. I'm not going to do anything about the weapon the Romulans are building and the fact that outposts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are going to die. And, you know, that I'm not going to change, but I'm going to fix that. Maybe her being in prison stops the war too. You don't know that. Maybe when she gets let out of prison, she kills Spock. We don't know. I'm sorry, I'm bitter about how many plot holes there were, in my opinion, in how they did that. I do hope I'm in the minority whenever I don't enjoy an episode of something. Like, I hated the way Lucifer ended. I know that was a minority opinion, and I'm so thankful for that, because I want other people to enjoy it. I also know that I have a brain that has my opinions, and my opinions lock in, and I'm like, that is my opinion. So her being arrested obviously sucks. I do hope Pike doesn't hold it against Winona Earp, because she couldn't go against that order, and even if she had, somebody else would have just come and arrested her. You know, at most she could have contacted him in advance, and then they all would have had to go on the run as fugitives for breaking the law. Like, you know, the right thing to do is to comply and to fight it legally, to petition people to use your power and influence that you have as Captain Pike of the Enterprise, and say, look, she's done all this brilliant work for Starfleet. You know, being genetically modified doesn't change who she is. Like, you have to fight it. You have to fight it in other ways. So I do hope that he doesn't hold it against his girlfriend. Also because I love Melanie Scarfano. I can't say her name right, I'm sure, and I want to see her again. If I have to see Paul Wesley, give me Winona Earp. But that was definitely a shocking way to end it, and a way that I'm sure something will carry on into season 2. My hopes for season 2 are that we just don't ever mention Pike's future fate, and I can decide that within the next 7 years he's like, wait, I'll just resign and tell Kirk to make sure the cadets aren't anywhere near that place. Sold. That's, in my opinion, that is still what's going to happen. He's going to think about it long and hard and be like, what if I resign? And then future him is not going to come, because it was enough. It worked out. Everything's fine. That is how I will continue to love this show. But my hopes for this show, regardless of anything else, are that we get number 1 back, or at the very least out of prison and able to enjoy her life. That La'an rejoins the crew, because I really, really like her. And, you know, one of the things that I love about these shows is the crew and the bond the crew all form. Obviously, realistically, within military, Starfleet, whatever, the Navy, which is kind of what it mimics rank-wise and everything, you do have people coming and going and changing over of crews. Crews do not always stay the same. But from a TV show standpoint, it is very nice to have the same crew all the time, so you can get attached to them. I also hope we don't see Captain Kirk, because he would look too old, and therefore we can't see him again until he ages. I mean, this show did take place over 3 years, so that theory goes out the window. But no, I did truly love this show. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring. I'm so sorry so much of this review has been an angry rant. I did love the show, I just didn't love the finale. Thank you so much for watching.